done it! They have gone back-to-back for the second year in a row!
What is up, everybody? I'm Devin, alongside my lovely co-host, Milkman, and you are watching the first ever Loose Pucks. I love the sound of that. How about you?
Had a ring to it, let me tell you. Loose Pucks.
A ring to it. Welcome to the show. The cat is out of the bag. We are joining up with the Loose Cannons team, starting a whole new podcast for our beloved Tampa Bay Lightning, and it's going to be awesome, man. I cannot wait to grow this thing with you, and it's going to be fun. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk a little shit, give our hot takes. Essentially, the show it's going to be once every 1 to 2 times a week, depending on our schedule, and we'll bring you hot takes. Like I said, talk everything Tampa Bay Lightning. So we're gonna get right into it with the introductions. Go ahead, Mr. Milkman. You go ahead and lead us off.
Like you said, my name is Milkman. I will also go by Milky, Milk, anything along those lines. Huge Tampa Bay Lightning fan, Tampa Bay sports fan in general from the 727 area. Obviously Bucks as well, Rays. Also a Gator fan as well. My counterpart over here, not so much. He's on the bad side, but that's for a different day. We're focusing on the Lightning here on this podcast because we are definitely both Tampa Bay Lightning fans.
Absolutely.
Fanatics, some would even say. We'll get into some stories that we've had in the past and probably some future stories that will be happening. But yeah, I've been a fan pretty much my whole life. I watched with my uncle when I was younger. We used to play cards even on like weeknights, on school nights. When I was a little kid, I'd be drinking my Diet Dr. Pepper, and he'd be drinking his obviously like a
Fat
Captain
Kyle?
Coke, something like
Fat
that.
Kyle?
Yes, that was Chubby Kyle. That was the baby face Chubby Kyle. Those were some different years.
We'll throw out some pictures sometimes. We'll let the viewer see the Fat Kyle. I'll never let you forget that.
Those are some years for sure. But yeah, just grew as a Lightning fan. And what a time to be a Lightning fan now. I mean, back-to-back cups. There's really no better time. And we've seen it coming for years. We've really been seeing it coming.
Absolutely. I love it. For those of you who don't know, my name is Devin, a.k.a. the Shoot the Puck guy, a.k.a. obnoxious on Twitter. You know me. Huge Tampa Bay sports fanatic. Obviously became a Lightning fan because my dad was actually the beat photographer for the St. Pete Times at the time. So I just grew up watching, he was a beat sideline reporter or photographer. Jesus, I can't speak today. For the Bucks, for the Lightning, for the Knowles. So I would just, turn the TV on and try to watch him. And then after a while, I'm like, okay, this is my sport now, I guess. So became a huge Lightning fan from an early age. Never stopped. I remember outside 2004, pots and pans going crazy in the middle of the street. My dad was actually at the Thunder Alley taking pictures during our first Stanley Cup win. So, die hard of the Tampa Bay, should I say, Stanley Cup champions. Back to
3-time. Well, back-to-back for sure.
Back-to-back,
also
3-time.
3-time. But not many people can say 3-time. That's for sure.
So let's get into it. We'll just do, obviously, the season's starting, but a quick little recap of last year. Obviously, we won the Stanley Cup. But the most important thing is the Lucky Couch lives on. In your introduction, you did not put owner of the Lucky Couch. How can you leave that out? Let them know about the Lucky Couch.
I didn't want to flaunt it too early, to be honest. But the couch is lucky. There's really no other way around it. The record, it's impeccable. The only blemish on the record is when we took it out of its comfort zone, out of its environment, and literally towed it to a bar about 45 minutes away. And there was raining at points during that tow. And that was the only time it didn't come through for us. But every time anytime anyone has been in their assigned seats, and it's an assigned room, everything's gone well.
Certain positions, you gotta when you feel the momentum shift, you gotta sit up.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta lean back. You gotta recline when we're cruising a little bit. Lucky Couch is real, and it's here. And
it's a true vibe.
Everybody knows. If you can go back and look at my Twitter, Lucky Couch is here. So, and it's here to stay. So,
And I think it's fair to say that at some point we're going to be doing a live stream from the Lucky Couch. On definitely some important games that's going to be happening in the future.
100%. So the Lucky Couch lives on. We made sure when we lost Game 4 that we were on the Lucky Couch, and we obviously won in 5 games. Really wasn't even a series. We were the complete dominant team. But then we get into the offseason, and a lot of people, like myself, I already hate Seattle for breaking our hearts, taking our beloved, our sweet prince, Yanni Gourde. Unbelievable.
Devastating. I mean, if there's no other dog that I've seen as much of a dog as Yanni Gourde is a dog.
Right.
I don't think there's any other way to explain that.
I think his heart, like, he plays with so much passion. He's not the most skilled. He's just a fucking grinder, man. Like, the dude is amazing. And then we lose Coleman to the Flames, and then we lose Goodrow. So our whole third line, we have to revamp it this year, and that's something that we'll preview. We'll talk a little bit more later on about maybe who can step into those roles, who can fill that third line. But honestly, it's a huge loss. As a Lightning fan, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not a huge loss, because it is. And to me, and I'm sure you would agree, at times in the postseason, especially in the postseason, we had some other lines that were hot and cold. That was our most consistent line, and that's huge. You can and the amount of times they're on the penalty kill together, and big, huge penalty kills that these guys are just grinding out minutes time after time. They call them the Gnats. I mean, these guys are incredible, and we're not going to sit here and act like, oh, we're so loaded, these guys won't matter. It's just going to be a different team, in my opinion, this year.
Yeah, and you highlighted a word that I wanted to bring up, and that's consistent. And that third line was, in my opinion, the most consistent line across the NHL in just being on you 24/7, still producing some points. Defense was just unbelievable. The defense, they're always on you. But the fact that you knew every time that line went out there, they were giving 110%, and they were always on the puck, and they were always just driving the other team crazy. And then having the fourth line with Maroon come after that and also hold on to the puck on the boards. Then you bring out the top line. Having that just process was, I mean, it was unbeatable. As we've seen the last couple of years, it was just an unbeatable process. No one stood a chance.
Right.
I'm excited to see what happens with this new third line, because we don't really know exactly what the third line is going to be. We're definitely going to have some projections on what it's going to be, but it's consistency. I think it's fair to say that regardless of who's on this third line, it won't be as consistent as the last couple of years.
Right. And that's my biggest thing is, obviously the game is tomorrow, but the NHL is not like the NFL where you got 10 beat reporters for one team and you're getting all this leaked information. Like, we're over here, I'm tweeting at Joe Smith today, like, hey, who made the roster? We're a day away. Like, if it was the Bucks, you would know, a week before the game, like who got cut, things like that. So it's a little bit tougher, but we did see a couple moves, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I want to kind of dive into our offseason moves of the names. Obviously, we talked about who we lost, but let's talk about obviously the biggest name that we brought in. Corey Perry joins.
Can't beat him, join him, bro.
Can't beat him. Fucking join him. Fucking
Absolutely.
join him. And this is a public apology to you, Corey Perry. I've hated you. I've called you a lot of mean names. Milkman can attest to that.
Passionately, not just like just throwing him out there. Passionately
cussing you out from the Lucky Couch as you lost.
Yes.
I apologize. I mean, you finally got your head out of your ass and you joined the winning team. If you can't beat them, join them, like we said. And I love it. Everybody in the NHL is pissed off, saying that, he took way too much money. But hey, the man went to 2 Stanley Cups and he's lost to us. So at some point, you got to pull a Ray Allen. You got to leave the Celtics. You got to join up, take your talents down south, join the winning team, man. I'm excited for it because that's one of those guys, to me, it's like you hate playing against him. Like, you love him if he's on your team. But if you're playing against him, I won't even bring out the words that I used to say because he's on our team now. I'm nice Devin today. I'm nice Devin, but go ahead.
I mean, talking about someone who has stood out as well in the preseason, it is Corey Perry. Like, I put up 4 goals in the preseason.
Right.
Like, that's impressive. I know it's just preseason. It really doesn't matter that much. But the fact that he was able to come in this early, and I don't think he's going to be a guy that plays every single night. I don't see him as an 82 gamer. He's going to be a consistent guy out there for the lower lines. He'll probably be a penalty killer. He's definitely going to have some fights for us. He's going to throw hands. But he's a playoff guy.
That's
and
my favorite.
we've noticed it in the last couple of years in those final series. That man steps up in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, mentally, he puts pucks in the back of the net. I mean, it's impressive. And he's old too. I mean, and especially compared, he's by far the oldest guy on our team right now.
Right. And that you said something about, getting into fights. Him and now we just added like another goon to the team. Like obviously everyone knows Pat Maroon was our goon, but now we got two on two different lines that will just be out there setting the tone, and everybody loves a Pat Maroon. So I feel like I'm going to instantly fall in love with him. Even though, he already joined the team, so I do love him, but I feel like he's going to kind of grow on me.
Yeah, I mean, I had the privilege of scoring some tickets a couple rows back from the glass just a few nights ago, one of the preseason games. They were chirping the whole night. Both Pat Maroon and Corey Perry. I mean, I obviously couldn't hear exactly what they were saying, but they were talking and chirping the entire
preseason.
night.
And fucking preseason.
It's not even real. It doesn't even count. And so they're already going at it. I am so excited to see what happens when it matters, not only in the regular season, but when it truly matters, postseason. Absolutely.
So then we move on to a couple guys that did make the roster. They did finally put out the rosters right before we recorded this. Taylor Radish and Boris Tkachuk make the roster. I don't think that was too hot of a take. You've been reading about them all of last season, even when there were some healthy or some injuries, and we needed to call a couple people up from our taxi squad, as you would say. Their names flew around. I don't think that Jon Cooper was going to put them in, but they were in the conversation. So talk to me a little bit about Taylor Radish and Boris Tkachuk and what you're expecting from them.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these guys play. I do enjoy dabbling in Chell, the video game, and a few years ago, both of them were actually on it, and they both became pretty good on my Chell franchise. I want to say. All
right, signed, sealed, delivered. The video game said they're going to be good. They're going to be good.
They're going to be good. They came up to top 6 forward status, both of them. So no, but in all honesty, watching them, they do have a dog mentality. I don't know if they have the same as what Gord had, and even that third line in general.
I don't think anybody you can even compare anybody to that. Gord is one of one. It's just gonna be a different feel.
It is, and that's what I'm excited to see from these two guys. Are they going to be more points guys? Like Ross Colton stepped up out of nowhere last year, and he was putting up points right and left, especially towards the tail end of that season. So are they going to do that? Are they going to be more of that dog mentality of getting in your face? So I personally, I didn't watch a ton of Syracuse games. I did watch highlights here and there. I know they have skill. I know they have hands. So I'm excited to see what they do. To be honest, I'm not expecting a ton. I know you asked what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting a whole ton. I'm expecting those top 6 guys, especially those top, I like to say too, through Cooch and Point. I expect them to put up some serious numbers for us this year.
I can't believe we've been going, 10, 15 minutes? We haven't even brought up our top 6. Like, it's just, they're literally our top 6 our top 6 lines. We have 4 players in the top 25. Like, at this point, I feel so privileged. Like, we're so spoiled that, like, we have so much talent that what we're really focusing on is the formation of our bottom 6 is what I'm trying to say. Jesus, I can't talk.
I mean, yeah, we haven't even gotten into Vasilevsky. We haven't even brought up Vasilevsky's
He's in a league of his own.
name.
Everybody knows that.
It's not even fair. We take him for granted at this point, and it is a little, I mean, he's unreal. There's no goalie that I've seen that's even compared to him in my lifetime. So I am very happy he's on our team, and I'm very, very happy that we've locked him up for just about a decade. So
as he should. He's a staple of what we do here in Tampa. I think I saw an article today, and it was like something like, there's Vasilevsky and then there's everybody else. Like you can't even rank goalies because there's a 1, and then there's like, number 2 starts at like about 5 because he's it's not no knock on anybody else, but he's just so much better. Another couple moves that were surprising to me. It's not really too much of a hot take, but McElhinney retires. We bring in Elliott. I think personally that's an upgrade. Wasn't a huge McElhinney guy. Hopefully Elliott, who's been a solid tender, I think he can step up and give Vasi just a little bit more of a break, because honestly last year I every time McElhinney was in net, I was like, oh God.
It was always scary because we knew our defense had to really step up. And you could just even see it. He's slower. He's a serviceable goalie.
The dude was like 30,
but he's
late 30s or mid 30s.
He was old.
Still,
he's old.
Reaction times and things like that is not the same as.
Your goalie shouldn't have gray hair. The man's got gray hair. I mean, I'm trying to be nice here. He did the job. I mean, we won a cup, so I can't complain too much. He obviously didn't even play a second in the playoffs. That's Vasi's job, regardless of who's behind him. But I agree. I do think Elliott's going to be an upgrade. I know he's had some issues, but he's also not played behind the Lightning. So we got a pretty strong, at least top 4, even top 6 defense. And hopefully if we can get a line that or Nats like that line 3, we can help them out too.
Absolutely. A couple other highlights. We have a healthy Steven Stamkos. I feel like we hear that every year. I love Stamkos, but he's always hurt. He's like, there's no question about it. So I get it. I'll clap until he gets hurt again. I love you, Steven, but it's you get hurt. We also have a healthy Victor Hedman, which that is huge because last in the playoffs he was skating on one leg, and he said it. After the season, you saw JBB tearing up about all the injuries that we had and how they just kept pushing through. So if he was that good in the playoffs with one leg, imagine what this guy. I mean, he's going to win the Norris. He has to for best defender. So to me, it's huge that he's obviously the anchor of our team. I think it'll be awesome that we have a healthy Victor Hedman back there.
Yeah, I agree. In my opinion, there's only 2 guys on this team that if we lost, we just immediately would not become a Stanley Cup contender anymore. One of them is Vasilevsky. The other one is Victor Hedman. We have a lot of very strong players on our team. We have, absolute stud, elite, potential Hall of Fame athletes. But even if we lose one of those top 6 in Cooch or Point, I feel like we could still – exactly. We could figure it out. Yeah. I'm not so sure we can do it without Victor. I'm not so sure we can. I know we can't do it without Vasi. If Elliott's our starter, I think that really. We're hoping that we're making a wild card for the playoffs. I'm not sure we're going to be in the top 3.
I agree. And pretty much the last move, which was very surprising to me because I really love this guy. It's Alexander Barré-Boulet. We had Tkachuk come up and Radish, so obviously there wasn't room for him. He gets put on waivers, and guess who fucking claims him? Guess.
Seattle. Unbelievable.
Seattle. I already hate this team. Your team name sucks. I hope you suck. Like what the fuck? What the hell?
Yanni,
I was a huge, and you could go back and check the tweets, and I remember telling you this last year, like when Killorn went down, I was like, bring up Barré-Boulet. Like, he balled for us last year in the regular season. He didn't get to skate in the playoffs, but the dude was like, he's tiny, but he had hands. He was quick, goal scorer. Like, he was putting a lot of good shots on net. Like, I love that guy. But obviously, we're the dudes sitting behind here making a podcast. We're not the guys on the ice or in the front office. So they know a little bit more than me, but fuck you, Seattle.
Why it kind of blows my mind is ABB was Kucherov's backup. Whenever Kucherov wasn't playing on the power play or he didn't play in the preseason, ABB took his spot. Or even there were times last year when Kucherov didn't play, he played on the first line. He played with Point multiple times last year. So to have him on a $900,000 contract and just say, oh, well,
they had to waive somebody. They had to waive somebody.
They did.
And they were just hoping that he went unclaimed. But here comes fucking Seattle with their greedy ass. And I hope that we never see another expansion draft in our lifetime. We won't in our lifetime. I hope not. 32 teams. It's the stupidest thing ever. Pisses me off.
No, yeah, I think I'm happy with 32, but I don't understand why we got rid of ABB, but maybe Kachuk and yeah, Radish are going to step up.
You think it puts a little
That's
bit
big.
more pressure on them because they're like, hey, we just waived this guy that's been up here skating with us, performing well because we believe in you two. You think that puts a little bit pressure on them?
I think it does. Yeah. I mean, I think regardless, when you're young and you're on a bottom six line and you have to put up either numbers or make an impact on the game, you got pressure on you because at any point you can just get thrown back down. We didn't invest much in them. None of them are making over $1 million. So it's not a huge deal if they don't pan out. So yeah, it is a risk for them, but if you're going to take a risk, might as well do it with the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions and a team that's shown that they can build around and they invest in their young farm talent and mold them into stud players like we have. We didn't trade for a lot of the guys on our team. A lot of the guys we had, they were drafted, they were molded, and it's our team now.
I think the only two that were traded for that are like really good contributors for us are McDonough, Sergachev. I know I'm forgetting one more. But most of our forwards are all bred within the organization. So whenever I talk to other hockey fans, they're like, oh, it's bullshit that you have all this talent. It's like, what? We should get penalized for drafting well, developing well, and putting players in positions within our organization.
And then making good trade deadline moves.
Right. It's ridiculous. I think the Druin trade for Sergachev, I was pissed off at the time, but that trade to me, it's panned out, obviously. Druin was a head case, and obviously we don't need the forwards. We definitely needed the defense more. So, I mean, across the board, great moves. JBB continues to be a cap wizard. You know, he was under the tutelage of the great Yzerman, who's kind of struggling over there in Detroit, but this isn't a Detroit podcast, so fuck him. I'm just kidding. I love you.
So they definitely get screwed in those draft picks, though. Feel bad for them.
Absolutely. So let's preview our week ahead. We'll probably talk to you guys next week. So coming up, we have Pittsburgh at home on Tuesday, raising a banner. I would love to be there. I have prior obligations that I cannot get out of, so I will not be there, unfortunately. But raising a banner against a Penguins team that is very injured. No Malkin, no Crosby. Two of your stars right there. Gotta win that game. To me, I mean, it's not like the NFL where it's like, oh, it's a must-win game. But I mean, come on, it's no Malkin, no Crosby, raising a banner, give the fans some good shit.
Can't lose on banner night. You just can't lose on banner night.
It just kills the whole thing. Go out there and show why you're the champs.
Yeah, I mean, losing on banner night with a Crosby and Malkinless Penguins, that's an insult to injury. So I obviously would not be the wheels on the bus falling off or anything like that. It's game one of an 82-game season. I'm confident that we're going to do well this season, but not a good start if we lose. So I do predict us doing well, though. First half of the preseason, we look shaky. Granted, a lot of our starters weren't playing, and I mean, it's preseason.
About preseason, I don't.
Second half of the preseason, when our starters were playing, we were whooping some butt a little bit more. Yeah. So I just like that transition, and I think we're just going to carry that into the regular season. And the first three games, definitely, I think we're winning two. Hopefully, we can just sweep the first three.
Yeah, and then we go to Detroit on Thursday, at Detroit. Thursday, at Washington Saturday. So Detroit, still a dumpster fire. Easy win. Yep. Washington, I feel like it'll be a decent, good test. They're going to come out hungry. When you're the champion, you're always going to get everyone's best. Washington's pissed off about how they performed in the playoffs last year. I believe that'll be probably our best game this week, or in this next coming week.
I agree. I mean, I'm excited. I'm not a huge fan of Ovechkin, but it's always fun to kind of see him chase that Gretzky, that mark as well. So it is fun watching Washington. I mean, I'll always hate him from when we were up I don't even want to talk about it just because we're trying to be very happy on this first
This
podcast
is a positive
here.
first loose
Yeah,
pucks
this is
episode.
positive. I can't bring that up because I truly am still scarred from not scoring for like 3 games. No, not bringing it up. But yeah, no, I'm excited for these first 3 games. I'm excited for the season in general. I do think it's going to be a good season for us. Coop, he just got that extension. That's pretty new news for us.
Money man.
Money. I mean, can you blame him though? The guy, he builds the team. He knows who to put out there, and the guy wins cups. He wins at every level.
How fucking stupid I am? How stupid I am. When we lost in 2019, I know we're talking happy stuff. But I just want to talk about how much of an idiot I am. When we got swept, I said it's time to fire Cooper. Time to fire. How stupid am I? How dumb am I?
You weren't the only one saying it. I mean, I don't know if I was that radical on it.
He learned from that, but
oh my gosh, absolutely.
He said it too, but
really.
I don't know. I just look back and some of my old takes, and I'm like, I'm an idiot.
I mean, do we go back to back if we don't have that?
No, and you see it.
I don't know if
you see it. Internationally, he's Canada's head coach for their international team. Canada
Olympics coming up
is arguably the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They could pick every fucking coach is Canadian. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying. They can literally pick any coach in the NHL, and they pick him. Yeah. Or nationally, but or in the world, but they pick him. So that's for a reason. So
pick the guy in Tampa.
Best.
I love it.
Top 3 coach, no question. Happy that he's here to stay. He built this. He was promoted within the organization. Listened to his interview on Spittin' Chicklets. Awesome guy. Met him a couple times. Awesome, down-to-earth guy. And he just seems like he's a player's coach that a lot of players love to play for. So great for Coop. Well deserving for your contract extension. Let me hold 5. I think he owes us
Absolutely.
5.
Yeah, I mean, cheers to Coop for sure. Congrats to him. I'm excited to keep him. Longest tenured NHL coach too. Just got an extension.
That's kind of wild.
Insane.
Because I don't feel like he's been. Well, maybe he's been here that kind of long. Has it been over 10 years?
I think it's been about 10 years. I think he got here around that time, beginning of the 2010s.
We're getting old, man. I feel like
because he was here a few years, 2 or 3 years before the 2015 year. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so before we close it out, we're going to do our Shoot the Puck segment. So this is a segment that we're going to do every week. Going to go off on a little bit of a tangent. You know, it doesn't have to always be bad or overly good, but it's just, what we're feeling for the week. I promise you I'm going to have a couple, I'm forewarning you, I'm going to have a couple Shoot the Puck rants in the season that it's going to be pretty negative. So beginning of the season,
not all rainbows.
Happy thoughts.
Absolutely.
Go ahead with you, Mr. Milkman. Go ahead and shoot the puck.
So for my first Shoot the Puck, I'm not going to do week. I'm actually going season because it's just the first one, getting it out there. And who I need to step up, not even step up because he's a stud. Absolutely. He's elite talent. It's Braden Point. And I think that man is going to be, I know he's already considered elite, but he's not considered one of the best. If you talk to one of the most people within the NHL community, McDavid's, McKinnon, and those guys, Draisaitl, they get considered the best. And he's not considered as one of the top even 5, even 10 forwards. Braden Point is going to win hardware in the regular season. And Braden Point is going to show that this is his team. It is not Steven Stamkos' team anymore.
No,
this
Cooch?
Is his team. Cooch he's going to get points, but I don't think Cooch has that leadership thing. He shows it on the ice. He doesn't show it with his words, and he talks smack, and he does the best post-game celebrations you'll ever fucking see. But this is Braden Point's team, and I think this is going to be a massive year for him. He's got an electric shot. He can skate around anybody, and I'm very, very excited to see what he does. Him and Cooch have a chemistry that's just been molding over the last 5-6 years at this point. It's untouchable. So that's my shoot the puck. Cheers to Braden Point. I hope you have one hell of a year, brother.
I love it. So we're also in the works that we'll be giving you the opportunity, the viewers, to call in and shoot the puck, and we'll play it live when we're recording. We'll be doing some live shows as well, so we'll get the number out to everybody. We'll drop it in the description below for you to call in for next week's show and shoot the puck. So my shoot the puck, it's not going to be for the season. It's going to be for the week. So this is something that, to me, you got to set the fucking tone. You're the defending champions, back to back. Everybody's giving you all these bullshit excuses. You won during a COVID year. You won because you were over the salary cap. Show them. Set the tone. You lost your third line. Go out there and show them who the fucking champions are. Do it. Set the tone early. Put the NHL on watch. Show them that you are the most talented team. I'm looking for a clean sweep. Am I going to freak out if we don't win all three? No, absolutely not. But what I want to see happen, shoot the fucking puck, put it on the fucking net, and fucking get after their ass. I want a 3-0 start, selfishly, as a Tampa fan. That's it.
I love it.
That's not asking for too much. A little motivational speak, but not too negative. But you'll see that when we hit in a slump, I'm gonna be on your ass, boy. So
yeah, it's not all rainbows for sure, but I mean, to start the year, two-time Stanley Cup champion. How can you not be all rainbows? I mean, we're
raising a banner.
We're definitely sitting pretty right now.
Absolutely, Tampa Bay. All right, well, the Rays game is on. Go Rays. Last time I checked, we were losing. I had to turn it off because we're recording. So hopefully, me not watching the game has brought us some good luck, and we can score some runs. Thanks for tuning in this week to the first ever episode of the Loose Pucks. Please make sure to comment, like, share, subscribe, all that. Shout out to the boys over at the Loose Cannons. Thank you guys so much. And tune in next week for episode 2 of the Loose Pucks. Deuces.